Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here, and we are at the final of the season for Criminal Minds Evolution. If you remember last week, or last episode I should say, it ended with Jade setting off a massive number of explosions. We open at the BAU, where Garcia has lost all contact. And then Wilson gets a phone call from her mom, wanting to know if she's okay. Garcia turns on news. News is covering the explosions and the fires. Rossi's trapped under rubble, but Tara manages to dig him out and says that they grabbed a bunch of kids who were on the south end, but both Church, Emily, as well as Jade are missing. Well, when Emily and Church wake up, they are handcuffed to chairs, actually wheelchairs. And Jade pulls a gun on Church, accuses him of crimes against her and Mia, and asks how does he plead. And when he starts arguing with her, she shoots him in the head. He's gone. Church wasn't the big baddie he thought he was. Well, she gets rid of the body, or basically she rolls it into another area. Then she goes back and does the same with Emily. And Emily says, "What am I accused of?" And she starts listing a bunch of, murder and conspiracy and this and that. He says, "Are we still in America? Why? If we are, I'm a citizen and I have certain inalienable rights. The right to face my accuser and the right to see the evidence against me." Okay. Back at the BAU, they are going back and forth. And Garcia pulls up some footage from the compound, and they see Emily caught in one of the explosions and then picked up by Jade and a man. They all assume that is Peter, the final Gokd Star. Rossi, in a conversation with his imaginary Voit, comes to a realization. And he goes to see Voit in his new cushy cell. It's not even a cell, it's a room. He's in solitary, though. No contact with the other prisoners. Voit says, "What do you need and what do I get out of it?" And Rossi says, "You don't get anything out of it. I just need some confirmation." "Well, if I don't get anything out of it, why should I confirm anything?" "Well, you won't have to. I'll see it in your face." And then tells him that Peter is Peter Bailey, the deputy director's younger brother. The man Voit shot last season. Voit just kind of smiles and laughs and says, "Well, did you get what you needed? Could you tell?" Rossi says, "Yes, thank you," and leaves. And he tells everyone, it's Peter Bailey. Wow, this is a shock. I think Emily's the only one who actually ever met Peter, or knew about Peter, really. Of course, Rossi did, but they all did, but they didn't really know. Then the director shows up, and he gives some background. Peter was the first Gokd Star. He had had trouble with conspiracy theorists before, and he was a troubled kid and was prone to violent outbursts. And Bailey, the older brother, requested Gokd Star be given to the BAU so that he would have time to find and rescue his brother, get him pulled out, and get him some help. The director agreed. And that explains all the back stuff. Oh, we also get a few flashbacks to Bailey and his brother, one of which Bailey is going on and on and on about his conspiracies, and Bailey is knocking them down. And Peter says, "Well, if I'm right, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And if you're right, well, I just hope you don't end up with a picture on the back wall, where all the fallen agents are. That'll be important later. Olive, the lawyer of Voit, goes to see Wilson. Voit wants to be in Gin Prop. He doesn't like being in solitaire, even if it is for his own protection. He's a social creature. And in exchange, he will give them Peter's location. They don't want to do this deal, but the director does. In fact, he has Voit transferred to the BAU, where Voit reveals that through the dark web, he had gotten to know Peter. And Peter was having trouble with some of the videos Damien was sending him and wanted to know how to authenticate them. So Voit sent him an app that can do that. It can go through and see if there are any cuts or edits made, and if it is the actual raw footage. It also has a GPS on it. But he cannot access it because his computer was blown up. So they're going to have to go back to the compound and use their servers. And Voight's going to go with them. He makes one specific request. Tyler, the brother of the sister he killed, must act as his security. Tyler has to be very careful. If he gets goaded into taking a swing at Voit, Voit would then have a case for a civil rights violation and could be released from prison. Meanwhile, Emily is introduced to Peter. She knew his brother. They have a bit of back and forth. He believes Voit was just a false flag. Emily and the rest of the BAU are really the ones that killed him. Specifically, Emily. Emily killed his brother. And he shows her all these videos. They're authentic, but it's like, they're Barry's videos. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's just giving information out that was supplied to him by someone else. And yes, Barry was working for Peter. They get to the ruins of the compound, and Voit tries to goad Tyler into assaulting him, and Garcia steps between them, takes off her glasses, and stares directly into Voight's eyes. And this is a very tense moment, and Voit even tries to turn and avoid her eyes, and she just keeps following him until he finally backs off. She literally scared him by looking at him. Wonder what he saw. Anyways, they get the address, and they all prepare to head out, although Voit is not going with them. He is being returned to the U.S. Marshal's custody and returned to his cushy little cell. He does taunt JJ about the fake pictures and videos of her on the website he created. And she taunts him right back. Yeah, well, I made a few changes to some of them. You had a lot of footage of her wife. A lot of it looks like she wasn't even aware. So, who knows if my pictures get up, who knows what else might get released. He's a little pissed about that. It didn't go the way he planned. And he says, hey, good luck. Odd. Well, back where Emily's being held, she realizes that she's bait for the rest of the BAU. The whole place is loaded with explosives at the only entrance. When they come in to rescue her, they're all going to be taken out. Now, they get there, and they're unlocking the door and they're about to open it when JJ suddenly realizes what the meant. He's hoping they get caught in the same kind of booby trap that the officers were caught in last episode's bunker booby trap. Well, now they're stuck. What are they going to do? Garcia, being the tech whiz she is, manages to hack into the cameras. And of course, they knew she would do that, and so they know she's watching. They can't communicate. But in seeing everything there, Rossi realizes they can use the projector to their advantage and has Garcia hack that and shows the interrogation footage between the director and Voit, where he admits killing Peter's brother. Peter doesn't know what to think. He tells Jade to authenticate it. She does. It is. He realizes he's been wrong all this time. He deactivates the bombs and takes Jade's gun and pops the clip out and hands it back to her, without realizing there's still a bullet jacked into the chamber. They both get down on their knees, and Emily calls out that she's safe, they're unarmed, and they can come in. So they do. And Peter's handcuffed, and then Jade pulls out her gun and puts it to her own head. She's not going back in a cage. She's not going to be tortured again. And Emily, having gone through what Emily's gone through in her life, several kidnappings and the assaults and everything, manages to talk Jade down, and she surrenders to them. Now, Emily and the director are talking, and Voight's going to get out in 5 years. Jade and Peter, they're going to have to go to trial for their crimes. They're probably going to be in jail for decades, if not life. And Emily's like, that doesn't seem fair. And the director's like, look, it is what it is. We don't get to win all the time. And sometimes you got to make bad deals to get the greater threat. And she says, well, yeah, but that's not good enough for me. Oh? Why should I care? Well, if you want to keep Gokd Star and the white paper between you and me, I have a few demands. And I thought, oh, she's going to have Peter put in with Voit, something he could have never foreseen. No, that's not what happens. Emily has Jade visited by Mia to give them closure. And Mia tells her she saved everyone. She's a hero. Peter is reunited with his family, who have been worried about him for good 10 years. And so he gets some closure. The BAU has a little party in honor of Emily being rescued. And here we learn that Tyler has applied to become an FBI agent. And he and Garcia, while they can never be romantically involved again, his betrayal last season is something that can't be overlooked, but they're in a good place with each other as friendly. Also, Tara and Wilson have reconnected and are taking it a little slower this time. And Emily arrives, and she tells him that Voight's going to be in Gen Pop, and Rossi says, for tonight, Voit is not on our minds at all, and everyone agrees. And they cut into the cake Garcia made, which says, hooray, you didn't die. Oh, as for Voit, well, we see him planning his escape, setting things aside so that he can find them in the laundry room, when two extremely large men enter, and one pulls out a shiv and says, You're Voit. Nope, no, I'm not. You got the wrong guy. Oh, no. You're Voit. We know all about you. And then Voit puts up a really good fight between these two guys, but it is still 2-1. And unlike the other people he's like victimized last season, they can fight. And eventually he is stabbed repeatedly with the shiv. Does he die? Don't know. If there's a third season, we might find out. At the very least, he is receiving some punishment for all the things he's done the past 2 seasons, most of his life. Yeah, very good season finale. A lot of loose ends were tied up, and left everybody in the team in a good place for once. So, kudos. And I liked seeing Voit get a bit of a comeuppance, because his smug villainy just irks me. One thing I hate is smugness. That superiority that some people exhibit because they're right and no one else is. You know, like Greg Gutfeld does when he tells a joke. Or at least what he thinks is a joke. Anyway, great ending to the season. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time when I've decided on what show I want to watch next. Probably Batman, the Caped Crusader.